Throughout the 2016 campaign, Donald Trump's philanthropy and the foundation bearing his name have come under fire. Washington Post reporter David Fahrenthold has spent months tracking how the charity has spent its money.
In his latest article, Fahrenthold unveiled a mysterious $20,000 painting of the Republican nominee paid for by the Donald J. Trump Foundation. And David joins us now from Washington. David, you've done some incredible reporting throughout this campaign season. So this 6-foot portrait of Donald Trump bought for 20 grand by the Trump Foundation. Just give us a sense why it might be problematic about the foundation using its money to buy this painting.
Well, sure. It's a basic rule of charity law that the person who runs the charity can't take the money in the charity and use it to buy things for themselves. That's called self-dealing. It's like the first lesson of running a charity is you can't use it as your personal piggy bank. So a few years ago, Trump's wife, Melania, buys this $20,000 painting of Trump at a charity auction. That's great. He could buy it for as much as he wants at a charity auction, but he has to pay for it with his own money, and he doesn't. He uses the money out of the Donald J. Trump Foundation, money meant for charity. Now the portrait is owned by the charity, and it has to be put to some sort of charitable use, and I can't figure out what that is in Trump's mind.
Do we know where this painting is, David?
We don't. Last we know, after the auction, the painting was packed up and shipped to Trump's golf course in Westchester County, New York, where the understanding was it would be hung in the employee boardroom. I don't know, however, if it's still there.
David, Donald Trump has often boasted about his personal donations to charity. We've had his surrogates saying Donald Trump has given tens of millions of dollars to charities over the years. What have you uncovered?
I can find no evidence that's true. I've spent months looking for evidence that Donald Trump actually does give millions or tens of millions out of his own pocket to charity. I've called more than 430 charities that have the closest ties to Trump, the charities that seem most likely to get this money. I can find no evidence that he's done anything near like what his campaign has said he's done. In fact, between 2008 and this May of this year, I found one gift for less than $10,000 that came out of Trump's pocket over a period of 7 years.
David, how is this playing with voters? Is there something resonating with the fact that you've been doing a great deal of reporting on this, but is it resonating with voters?
Who knows? And I don't write it because I want it to change some voters' mind. I just think it's important to know about Donald Trump. I don't know. To me, what's important about this is if you care about whether Trump will keep his promises and whether he feels sort of a moral responsibility to help those less fortunate than him, you can learn a lot by studying how he treats charity in his personal life. And what I've found is that he often tends to break the promises he makes about charity and that he doesn't seem to show very much of a sense of moral responsibility toward others. In fact, he knows people expect him to show that, so he tries to have the appearance of charity without the actual substance.
You know, there was a point in our history when having military experience was hugely important to getting a candidate elected. Does it make a difference whether they're charitable or not? Do you think voters, it's important to them?
I don't know. To me, though, it's important to me for this reason, that it shows how somebody deals with the responsibilities that come with their success, the responsibilities that come with power, and in Trump's case, wealth. And also, in Trump's case, it's not that Trump has been going around his whole life saying, I don't give to charity, I don't care about charity. In that case, I wouldn't have started looking for proof that he does give to charity. He spent his whole life saying the opposite. I do give to charity. I care a great deal about charity. And in that case, it's a matter of his truthfulness, whether he actually follows through, and I have found that he hasn't.
David, one of the things that I've loved with your reporting, in addition to reading your stories in the Washington Post, I love following your Twitter feed because you'll post pictures of your reporter's notebook with the numbers or the names of the charities that you've called or other information. You really, that's, I mean, incredible. And then we can see your notes, never, no comment. Is this a sort of a new, I mean, what made you come up with this idea of sort of sharing your journalism through social media in the way that you're doing?
Well, I asked Trump. It started with me asking Trump, okay, well, you say you've given away tens of millions of dollars. To whom? When? Where? And I got no response at all. So I thought, well, I'm going to do this search for Trump. I'm going to try to prove him right. And I needed a way to sort of make my futility look interesting. So I started calling these charities that seem closest to Trump and started finding, wow, he's not giving them any money. I need a way to show people how hard I've tried to prove Donald Trump right and a way to sort of illustrate the futility of the search. So that's when I hit on doing this sort of longhand, doing it on a notebook pad and taking pictures of it. Now it's up to charity number 430.
Wow. Yeah, that's incredible. Incredible reporting. Washington Post reporter David Fahrenthold, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.